Hi dear students, in today's session we are going to start with the last phylum called Chordata. So here in today's session we will first find out the properties of chordates. More important 4 properties will be discussed here first, and later we will take up the general classification of the organisms and then discuss about the urochordates and cephalochordates in detail. Okay. So here first is the 4 important properties of chordates that we are going to discuss about the phylum Chordata. What are those important properties? Here they possess dorsal solid notochord. They are having presence of dorsal solid notochord. Next, they are present with pharyngeal gill slits. Fourth property, they possess a tail. So, presence of tail. It can be last in any time of different stages of development. And the next is dorsal hollow central nervous system. The presence of dorsal hollow central nervous system. You know that CNS, that is central nervous system, and it comprises of brain and spinal cord. It comprises of brain and spinal cord. See, when we go through the properties of chordates, they have a dorsal solid notochord. Solid ಗೂ hollow ಗೂ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮರದ ದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸಾಲಿಡ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ notochord is very solid and it is present at the dorsal region of an organism. So for understanding purpose, if you go through the structure of a human being, we have anterior posterior ends along with that dorsal and ventral position. So this is considered as face and our chest region, the stomach, and the next portion which is considered as a ventral surface, and the back portion. So this is considered as a dorsal surface. So here the notochord which is present dorsally and it is solid. And for comparison purpose, if you are interested in finding of the hollow structures, so say for example a PVC pipe that is having a lumen, that means a free space which is present is considered as a hollow tube structures. Solid structures are not having hollow region, it may be not having a lumen, but the solid compared to hollow, free space is present in hollow, no free space in case of solid. Lumen is present in case of hollow, no lumen in case of solids, right? So for comparison and to understanding purpose, a complete twig of any of the tree is considered as a solid structure. A PVC pipe is considered as a hollow structure. Understand about this? And next, coming to the pharyngeal gill slit. As due to the presence of the gill slits at pharynx region. Say for example, in case of human beings, you can find that pharynx here, okay, and immediately to the next region is considered as a lungs. Some of the organisms of chordates are having gills and the gill slits. The next higher level organisms possess are they modified into lungs. The organisms which are coming under chordate phyla, phylum Chordata, are having both aquatic and terrestrial habitat. But if they are present in aquatic media, they possess gill slits. Even they are all present in the pharyngeal region only, so that is why these are considered as a pharyngeal gill slits. And the terrestrial group of organisms like human beings, or maybe the mammals, or maybe amphibians, birds, or maybe reptiles, any of the organisms that you can take, they all possess with lungs. So, whatever it may be the structure, for respiration purpose, in case of chordates, gills will be there or maybe lungs, but they are present in the pharynx region. So, that's why they are called as pharyngeal gill slits. Next is presence of tail. The presence of tail is a unique property of a chordates. During its course of development and during its evolutionary time, they may have lost their tail structure. Some exhibit the larval stages. So, some of the organisms even possess their tail structure for a very short period of development in their larval stage, and they may show the complete degeneration of its tail. And when come to the some other advanced group of organism, even they possess their tail structure in its embryonic development. Embryonic means where they are growing in their mother's womb. During that stage, they may possess the tail structure. After a course of time, they may lose its structure. So, that is why in any of the developmental stages of all the organisms which comes under the chordata will be having tail. During its developmental stages, they may lose its structure or may they retain also. Illi yavdu lose agate yavdu retain agate next nodana. Next is about the dorsal halo central nervous system. The central nervous system which is comprises of brain and spinal cord. Here it is halo. We written that halo. Halo refers to a tube like structure with a central free space. When you consider that a spinal cord, we know that there is a cerebral vertebral column and then thoracic vertebral column. ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ವರ್ಟಬ್ರಲ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ನ ಬೇರೆನೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಲೋ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಕ್ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೀ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಪೊಸೆಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ರೈನ್. The central nervous system is halo and it comprises of brain and spinal cord, right. So, regarding the 4 important properties of chordata and left all other properties, we know that the organ system level of organization, due to the presence of all 3 germ layers, all the 3 germ layers, they are also called as triploblastic. We know that here it is 3, so that is why mesodermal germ layer will also be present. So that is why this mesodermal germ layer will makes the body cavity, and that body cavity presence will be considered as coelomates. The organisms are called as coelomates, okay. And the organisms which are coming under this phylum will be all having bilateral symmetry. And the body plan will be of tube within tube type. And coming to their habitat, they all have both the habitat, that is few are living in the water, so that's why aquatic. They may be both marine and freshwater, and also we classified them based on the presence of the organisms in the water media and where we can find in the water media, where we are going to find. On that basis also we are already classified. And coming to the terrestrial habitat also, terrestrial also. The next property, their digestive system, circulatory system, nervous system, then excretory system, reproductive system, all are completely developed with the advanced properties, right, regarding the general properties. When we move to the classification process, it was in very clear that we can classify the phylum Chordata with subphylum, class, superclass, then again order. In different way we can able to get the clear detail of the classification process, and on different basis properties we can classify the chordates. Now we will take up the classification process. When it comes to classification, here first we will find out the chordata, right. So first chordata, otherwise I will little bit take upper one as required with the more space. You are going to understand it well in this session regarding the classification. We are going to classify the phylum Chordata, and this Chordata can be again grouped into 3 subphylum, phylum afterwards subphylum, based on the presence of notochord. Presence of notochord, again we have classified the chordata into 3 subphyla. So these are the subphylums, subphyla. Then Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. When we start identifying Urochordates and Cephalochordates, the last is Vertebrata. These are the chordate property, these are also having chordate properties, but they are primitive chordates. So that's why these primitive chordates are also called as, so both Urochordates, Uro and, I will write this here, Uro and Cephalochordates are also called as protochordates. These are also called as protochordates, and due to the absence of brain box, in these 2 subphylum, these are also called as Acraniata. Due to the absence of brain box. These are also called as acraniata. So now you can find that in vertebrata, they due to the presence of cranium or the brain box, they are called as craniata. These are also called as craniata. Okay. Now we will go to the one or two properties in detail, and we will take up these in next sessions. First one, they show here urochordates are having their notochord structure in the larval stage only. The notochord is present. Notochord is present only in its larval stage. Only in its larval stage. Larval stage, and it will loses its notochord structure when it become adult. When it become adult, notochord property is going to be lost. Notochord property is going to be lost. So this type of development, in its larval stage you can find the notochord, but in adult stage you cannot find its notochord structure. So this type of alternation structures or the losing property is called as retrogressive development. Development is retrogressive. Okay. So this is called as retrogressive. As when the larval stage is going to be developed into an adult, they are going to form a metamorphosis. So what is the word which we are going to use? The changing of larva into an adult is called metamorphosis. Egg ididu larva agate, larva ididu adult agate. So ee tarad development na navu ee taradondu activity na metamorphosis anteli kariತೀವಿ. Here the metamorphosis is a process of changing of larvae into adult, where they lose its property which are present in larval stage in their adult stage. So that is called as retrogressive development. So next is cephalochordates. Here in case of cephalochordate, the cephalo word refers to head. Cephalo word refers to head. They possess the notochord along their anterior-posterior axis. Anterior-posterior axis. So that means they will be present at their developmental stage along the anterior-posterior axis, and it will be present at the head region. So here the example is Amphioxus. And for this you can find the example Herdmania. Okay. So next is vertebrata. So this vertebrata is again classified into two more sessions, as they again divide based on their jaw structure, even if they possess jaws or not, based on the jaws, even if they contain jaw or not. Here they are considered as agnathostomes, and these are called, if they contain, then they are called as gnathostomes. Here we consider notochord as a basis structure for classification. Here in vertebrata, in which the subphyla is divided into again the classes, superclasses. So that's why the basis will be jaws The absence of jaws are called as agnathostomes. In this you can find cyclostomes, and the example is Petromyzon. And next is the gnathostomes, which again divided based on their limb property. I will write the rub the example, so let it be here only. So here the gnathostomes are again classified into two different classes on the basis of locomotive structure. Here the locomotive structure will be fins, and they are living in aquatic media, and those group are called as Pisces. And later few of the organisms which comes under gnathostomes are again classified into the next class based on their locomotive structure. Here they possess limbs and they are living on terrestrial media. Terrestrial habitat, and they are classified into four classes again. So here these four classes will be written over here. First one, amphibians. Second one, class reptilia. Third one, class aves, and fourth one, class mammalia. See, based on the locomotive structures, gnathostomes are again divided into two different classes, the Pisces 1 and left 4 based on limb structure. Fins are used in aquatic media for locomotion, limbs are used in as for a locomotive structure in terrestrial media, and 4 different classes are written here: amphibians, reptilia, aves and mammalia. Okay. So regarding the classification based on the limb structure, where here you can find Pisces, which again divided into 2 different subclasses. Those are based on its endoskeleton, which will be forming 1. The cartilage made chondrichthyes, and second one, bony made osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. See, we completed the classification. Cardates are classified based on presence of notocard. Urochordata, they possess the notocard structure in its larval stage. They will lose its notocard structure. They develop into adult through metamorphosis, and there will be a losing of properties and is called as retrogressive development. And as due to the absence of brain box here, they are considered as acraniata and they are present in this condition. So that's why they are called as protocardates. Next is the cephalocardates, which are having their notocard throughout their life, complete life alli irutte, and they are anterior posterior axis, and the example is Amphioxus. For this Urochordate, Herdmania is the example, And vertebrata, here the notochord is converted into vertebral column. The notochord is converted into vertebral column and they possess brain box. So that's why these are called as craniata and vertebrata. So here the craniata are vertebrata, again they divided into two different classes where it can be agnathostomes and gnathostomes based on jaws, presence or absence. And again the agnathostomes are cyclostomes, petromyzon will be the example, and the gnathostomes are again divided into two groups where based on locomotive structure, one is pisces and they possess fins as its locomotory structure, they are living in water and they are called aquatic, and based on its endoskeleton, inside skeleton what it is made, it can be cartilage made or maybe bony structure. So that is chondriichthyes and osteichthyes. Here the limbs which are made will be the locomotive structures in the terrestrial habitat, which will be given over here regarding four different classes of vertebrata, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. I hope you all understood about the general properties first here and later on its classification in detail with all the properties which are given here. So go through once again. Thank you dear students.